Just before we begun, I'm done, so done. I'm done with all the games you play. I'm numb.
So, what are we going to start talking about?
Loki first, because obviously that is the show that is more relevant at the current moment.
Yes.
And how do you feel about it, Liz?
Honestly, I did like the episodes. It definitely brought my attention. It definitely left me on like some cliffhangers. And I think there was only that like one episode that had a after credit scene, which is I'm like, okay. We actually thought there would be an after one at the last episode, but there wasn't. The characters are amazing. Like they definitely did a lot of work for Loki, even though it was only 6 episodes, but they did their best.
So, I had a very different view of it. Honestly, Loki was mediocre. I mean, like in terms of story, I found it pretty bland. It literally changed depending on which episode you're on.
Okay.
Like the first two episodes, the first episode, he's trying to change himself. The second episode, he's trying to become part with the Allies. Then in the third episode, he's a bad guy. Fourth episode, he's still a bad guy. Fifth episode, he's like understanding the like workings of it. And then this fifth episode, right? Fifth episode was when he was in the void, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I think it's 4 and 5. I think it's 4 and 5. Because 4 ended with him being crude, and then 5's like I think that whole episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the sixth episode, he's like an anti-hero now. Like he literally changes depending on the episode you're watching.
Mm-hmm.
But like at the same time, this was expected from episode 1, but I didn't think it was going to be this way the whole series. Obviously, there was some points that stayed throughout all 6 episodes, like his untrustworthiness. He even says it in the 6th episode, I can't be trusted, even though he's not the one who backstabbed the other Loki.
Yeah.
I'm talking about that.
The lady Loki.
But, I do like it because it is a stepping stone for what they're going to do next. Like, they're going to be talking about how the multiverse is finally here.
Yeah. And that's pretty much probably going to be the next movie coming out, next movie or show. I think it's Doctor Strange and then the Multiverse Madness. And then Far From Home. Because I think that's also going to include the other Spider-Mans that were there. I believe so.
But let's talk about Sylvie for a second. We were introduced to her kind of in the 2nd episode.
Yes.
And she was weird. At first, they were like butting heads, and now they're
from like 40-minute like episodes, they just like made like their relationship change so quickly too. Like I noticed that like for 6 episodes, I don't think so.
I honestly think they were a thing because they were gonna die and there was like no one else left, to be honest. But then they kept going with it, which is kind of funny to see how narcissistic Loki actually is.
Yeah.
Because he literally fell for himself.
It's just in a different gender, if you want to put it that way. In a different form, I'm sorry.
Yep. But I don't see Sylvie really as a Loki. I see her more as an enchantress kind of role. Like, she doesn't strike me to be like a Loki. Like, she's more of an enchantress kind of character. She's like got green, obviously green kind of magic.
Even though even though like in the episodes it'd be like, oh, there's different versions of Loki, but like Lady Loki, I don't see it as her being a Loki. Yeah, I see her as another wizard, to say. Like she still does like I guess quote unquote spells. She enchant. So like she still do the things that Loki can do, but I don't see her as a Loki.
Yeah.
Like she doesn't fall under like what Loki does. She just wanted to get revenge. Loki just want glorious and purpose.
Glorious purpose.
Pretty much. And also, I don't know if this is true, but I heard a theory out there. I don't think I believe it. I can't really wrap my head around it. But they're saying that since there's 6 episodes, there's 6 Infinity Stones, and each episode relates to one of the Infinity Stones.
When you showed me that TikTok you sent me, I
Yeah.
even said it there. That's
Yeah.
stupid. We're not.
Yeah, I'm like
The literal
oh.
first episode showed how pointless Infinity Stones are.
Yeah.
We're moving away from them. 6 episodes is kind of like the new norm of episodes for Disney Plus. This show's gonna have 6 episodes. The new Kenobi show is gonna have 6 episodes.
Wait,
Probably
seriously?
season 2 is gonna have 6 episodes. Yeah.
Damn.
Like that's kind of just their format, just 6 episodes.
Because I know that like some of the shows are like an hour long and it's 6 episodes.
Well, it's not really an hour long. I'd say it's like
45
30 40 minutes because of the credits alone.
Yeah.
But like it's still if it was 36 episodes, 3 hours, it's kind of like a very long movie. But like the way they spread it out makes it like more people are able to talk about it, and it's like more widespread. It keeps spreading out, so it's smart in a way, but it's also like annoying to the fans that just want to watch them like a movie of it just straight as. But like because they also have the TV show, we're able to see more. Like some scenes that would be cut out wouldn't be in like a 2-hour movie. So like we're getting extra scenes, but we have to wait longer for them. So I mean, it's kind of a give but a take. So but let's not talk about how TV shows are made. Let's talk about Renslayer or Ravonna, whatever you want to call her.
Yeah. For a second, I'm like, who the hell are you talking about? I'm like, yeah. So I actually got confused at the end because when the 13, I think that was her name, the hunter, she goes, and then one of the other people comes in, and then it's another version of herself. That I got confused because what I thought they were taken from the timeline and not like not a complete copy. Like there's another copy of them.
Do you not understand?
No, but then I realized like, oh, there could be multiple versions of someone. So like right now there could be another version of me or another version of you. That was one thing I got confused, but then I understood it.
I think you are still confused because what they did is they went back in time before she was abducted from the timeline to when she was a school teacher.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert. And they went to go show the other guards to show that like people were variants before coming to the TVA. They weren't created by the TVA. They were like taken away from like their lives.
Yeah.
I'm so sad Mobius didn't get to ride a jet ski.
He still wasn't able to do that. But he might.
But he's alive though. He's alive.
He's alive.
We still have potential.
Yeah. The thing is that what happened at the end of episode 6 kind of shocked me because when Loki explained all of this.
Whoa, we ain't there. We're not there yet, Liz. There's a big character we didn't even talk about.
Who?
Mobius.
Oh yeah, that's true. No, but I was talking about Mobius at the end of episode 6. That's what I meant.
No.
Oh, you want to go through the entire thing? Okay. Go ahead.
So Mobius, I felt was a comic relief character, but then got serious as times got on.
Yeah.
He was like that character, like I don't want to say comic relief, but he's sort of comic relief, but he also shows like innocence. Like at the beginning, this is all he knows. This is like I'm trying to think of a movie, but like this is all he knows because the TVA wiped his mind. He's just a person working for a big organization. This is like, but when the truth unveils itself, it's like, that's when he starts to get a character arc. I would say when he gets pruned, that's when he starts becoming a real character.
Yeah.
And like learning from what's been going on because he isn't like, he's not that TVA agent anymore. He's this knowing being now that like my life's been a lie, but I'm gonna fix it. Like,
Yeah.
I guess the best scenario, like, movie I can think of is kind of like Monsters Inc., where it's like Sully and Mike
Yeah.
find out kids aren't that bad,
Yeah.
but we can make them better.
Yeah.
Instead of
collecting
scaring them, let's
screams.
make them.
Yeah, let's make them laugh.
But for that case, it's Mobius and free will, because technically
Yes.
Mobius never had free will. And
Yeah.
this could be like Monsters Inc. They're always scaring them, but like Mobius wants to introduce free will when Monsters Inc. wants to like make kids laugh instead of scream. I don't know. That's kind of the only things I thought about it.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I see
All
the
right,
connection that you made there. I
Yeah.
definitely see the connection
All right, I think we've been stalling long enough. If you honestly want to know who the guy in the thing was on that little castle, it was obviously Doctor Doom.
there.
I'm,
Why
I'm
you say it's
kidding.
Doctor Doom?
I'm kidding.
I was like, yeah, no.
But honestly, I thought it was Doctor Doom for literally 5 seconds. That's the first thing I wrote on my paper. Literally, Loki episode 6 / Doctor Doom, because it was a castle, right?
Yeah.
But then I started to see hooded figures, and it was funny because when they walk into the building, they get jump scared by Miss Minutes. But
Yeah.
if you look at the statues, it looks like they're watching them. And it's kind of funny because, like, we find out later that he knows what's gonna happen. It's like he's already watched them before.
Yeah.
But so we never really got a name for the character.
Yeah, he said he goes by many names.
It is very clear it is supposed to be Kang the Conqueror.
It has to
We
be.
can tell this by, one, the multiple Easter eggs in episode 5.
Yes.
2, he was referred to He Who Remains.
Yep.
And 3, there's a line where they ask him what's his name, and he goes, instead of answering straight up, he goes, well, I've been called many names: ruler, conqueror, he who remains, jerk.
Yeah.
And that was the funniest part of the episode, in my opinion, just calling himself a jerk.
And another thing too that kind of got me is that when I guess the elevator opened and he just there sitting down eating an apple. I'm like, that it was just unexpected. It was just unexpected too. I'm like,
no, I'm glad you brought up the apple. So, villains are usually known to eat like apples. If you think about Snow White and the 7 Dwarfs,
yes.
What does the evil witch gives to Snow White? An apple. In Harry Potter, what is Draco Malfoy eating in the 6th movie? An apple. Apples are known to show villains, but in this episode, we only see him as a good guy. Well, not really a good guy, but he obviously has bad intentions.
Yeah.
But no matter whatever happens, he will win at the end of the episode. He's seen this so many times. He can't screw up. But it's what happens to everyone else that matters.
Yeah. And he gave them the choice. You can either take over for me or you kill me. He gave them 2 choices too. Like it's
yeah, well, we're not going to talk about the Gambit right now. We're talking about the apple, but
but also basically, I also saw there's 4 before we even meet the guy. There's also 4 statues, but one of them was broken because from the beginning we saw 3 timekeepers. We never thought of the 4th one. So that kind of gave me a little shock. I'm like, I thought there was only 3. Because it looked like the statue of the timekeepers. I don't know if they're the statue of the timekeepers. I'm just saying that.
I don't know. Maybe it's to symbolize the different variants in the world now.
Yeah.
Because now there's multiple. Oh my God! Oh, they destroyed 1 version of him, but 3 still stands. Maybe because we'll get to that later.
Okay.
Kang. We're just gonna say Kang to make it easier for us.
Yeah. We're not gonna say the one who remains every time. It's Kang.
Yeah. So Kang basically tells us his life history of discovering the multiverse, fighting in the multiverse war, and the only way he ended it was using the Elias,
Yep.
and basically prevents all other variants to like live on. Like that was the thing that killed classic Loki last episode.
Yeah.
And he
There's
did
a
this so his timeline would be the first timeline.
yes.
So he basically his this Kang is the version that is fighting to keep his timeline afloat. He wants to preserve his timeline. That is his MO, his goal, his ambition. Even
Yeah.
after
It doesn't
he
matter
dies.
what it takes. He
And
wants to make
this is
sure it's one timeline. He didn't want multiple timelines.
yes, because multiple timelines means multiple variants. Multiple variants means another variant war. However, with this variant war, he ended it. He doesn't want to create another one, but he's old now, according to him. He doesn't want anything to do with it anymore. So we saw the old Kang, like
I think
not
he
want
was.
to.
I think he was like the oldest of all of his variants, if you think of it that way. Because he's saying, "Oh, I'm
Well,
getting tired." Then he's probably I guess like patient zero. I'll say something like that. Like he's the first one. He's the prototype. I don't know if that makes sense.
well, I wouldn't say that. I just think it's the oldest Kang.
Yeah.
Well, like it's not the oldest Kang. I think it's just a Kang that is old and tired and doesn't want to do this
Do shit
anymore.
anymore.
He's like he just wants to retire, but like
Yeah,
he
but
doesn't.
can't. But you can't.
But this is where he presents the Gambit, which they refer to as the Gambit in the episode, where he can either retire and Loki and Sylvie takes his place, or he can, or they can kill him. What they wanted to do, but multiple variants are gonna be unleashed to kill them back.
Mm-hmm.
And Loki, for once, doesn't want to take.
Yeah.
Wants to take his. Wait. Sorry, I had a brain fart. Loki, for once, like doesn't want to take the power immediately. We actually see him grow. Because remember, this isn't the Loki that we saw go through Dark World, or Ragnarok, Infinity
it
War.
it definitely gave us a little like shock. Like we didn't think Loki would think of it that way.
Yeah, this is the Loki from Avengers.
Mm-hmm.
He literally a week ago he was fighting the Avengers, and today he was literally offered to be the one who won the Battle of New York, be with Sylvie, and control the TVA. But he doesn't say yes immediately. That just shows us how much he's grown.
Yep.
And Sylvie doesn't want any part of it. She doesn't want a happy life. Well, she does, but she wants to ruin the person's life who ruined hers first. And it just shows how different they are, even though they're the same person.
Yeah.
Do you want to add anything? I feel like I've only been talking.
No.
You've been going,
listen.
yeah.
No, because yes, I've seen like all the episodes, but like I don't know a lot of knowledge of like the episodes before, because this episode like today definitely like gave me like made me shocked. I'll say like just how it changed. I'll say also like there's a lot of things that are like, oh, okay, so this makes a lot more sense, and I kind of like how it ended, but I wish there was like an end scene credit of just something that just gives us a hint of what is going to be coming next. Like I know it showed it like throughout the episode, but like what will be coming next, if you know what I mean.
I mean, I could answer that question. Everything is coming.
I know.
The limits
it's just because
are
we only
unknowing, because variants. If you can think of something, it is a variant. Loki with a do-rag, that is a variant. Loki with not even Loki anymore. It is everyone. Everyone is a variant now. Everyone has a variant.
Yeah.
I can be a variant now of a girl if I were in the Marvel universe. Liz could be a boy.
Yeah.
whatever.
It's whatever, yeah.
Literally, if you can think of something, it is existing now.
Yeah.
But Kang tells them that they have to choose either to kill him or to take his place. And Sylvie and Loki fight, literally fight. It was a pretty good fight.
Yeah, it was.
And then they kiss, and then Sylvie sends him back to the TVA, and that's when Sylvie spoiler alert, Sylvie kills Kang.
Yep.
Or at least the first Kang that we see. Because technically there are multiple Kangs.
Yeah.
Now. Because she killed him. Because Sylvie unleashed the multiverse. There are now what are they called? There are Nexus events happening all over the time stream now, and yeah.
And then we see I think like it's B18 or B13 just looking at it, and Mobius just says for all time. And then what came to shock for me is that I don't think Loki was talking to the same Mobius from the beginning. Like because I think he was in a different TVA for some reason. Because Mobius like, what are you talking about? And then Loki looks and then sees the statue of, I'm gonna say, Kane. And just the way he looks, the statue, he looks like if it was Kane the Conqueror's like outfit. I'll say. I don't know what Kane the Conqueror's outfit looks like, but it has to be Kane the Conqueror because there's a lot of theories about it.
Obviously, it's King the Conqueror, but
yeah.
Honestly, I disagree with you completely. It's not a different Mobius. I mean, technically, it's a different Mobius, but it's the same Mobius, but a variant of what happened. So essentially, what King did is went back in time, created the TVA again, but instead of using those three, what were they called? The three timekeepers.
Yeah.
Timekeepers. Yeah. He used the TVA as himself, and then he said, "I am he who remains at the end of time. You must listen to me," and that's how the TVA was formed again. But because there's no variants anymore, they never searched on variants. They might just focus on Nexus events, and since they're not focusing on variants anymore, that would remove the other Kangs from the timeline, meaning they had no reason to search for Loki anymore. So is he a new person on the TVA roster? That's why Mobius was confused when they saw him, because technically Mobius never met him if they never looked for variants in the first place.
Yeah. I just think that it's just Mobius just lost his thought of like, I don't know who the hell you are, pretty much. Because he goes and they're like, I mean, I know that the B13, the hunter was there, but she wouldn't have, because I know they were both there, like I can kind of see where you were going, but for me, I think it was just a different Mobius. He'd be like, I don't know, like who you are. I know you're a Loki, but like you're not supposed to be here. He calls the guards over too, so like, how would it be the Mobius that we know? I'll say.
Cause it's a new time, Liz. It's a new time entirely. Like there is no old anymore. It's only the new.
Yeah.
Because Sylvie killed Kang, and it looked like Loki was in a time loop, right? Because he kept walking and he kept passing the same like 3 letters over and over again. I think he got caught in a time loop. And when that time loop was happening, because he was just running through the library, right? But it just kept looking like he was repeating himself over and over again, right?
Yep.
As if he were going back in time. That's kind of like where my theory stems from. Like, at Mobius, it's not a different Mobius. It's just a different thinking Mobius, one where Loki and Mobius never met, because Loki was a variant, and since they aren't getting variants anymore, Loki has no reason to have ever met Mobius, and same with Mobius. But I kind of want to skip that and get to like the next steps from this.
Yeah.
So obviously, if you didn't know, there's a season 2 in the works, but this was kind of known, or at least I knew about this since Falcon Winter Soldier came out, because what happened was they confirmed a season 2 for Loki and didn't confirm one for Falcon and Winter Soldier because obviously he's not the Falcon anymore. He's Captain America, obviously.
Yeah.
But so I already knew that there was going to be a season 2. But same with Liz, I'm disappointed there was no end credit scene, but I understand why.
Yeah.
Because if they use an end credit scene right now, it's just gonna terminate whatever just happened in the episode. I feel like the episode as a whole was an end credit scene
Yeah.
for what is to come.
Yes.
So I literally have what I think is going to happen with the characters.
Uh-huh.
So I think Loki for season 2 of Loki, I think Loki will try and look for Sylvie and fix her choice of killing King. Like he wants to undo killing King, but I don't think he's gonna be able to do it. But I'm gonna think that's what his goal is gonna be in season 2.
Yeah, I think he's gonna try to like go back in time just a little bit, like before she kills him, and like try to convince her to not like kill him.
And for Sylvie, I think there's 3 possible things that can happen with her. And I'm gonna say which ones are likely and which ones are unlikely.
Okay.
She might end up dead, but I really doubt it.
Yeah.
If you can't like, she was such a good character, and just to waste her by killing her at the start of season 2 would be pointless. They can torture her, which is probably most likely going to happen. Like the variants of King did come and are going to torture her.
Yeah.
Or what I think is the most cool idea is she's going to have to like repent her sins from like killing King. Like if you watched DC's whatchamacallit, Crisis on Infinite Earths.
Yep.
Like the Harrison Wells was a pariah where he gets to watch every bad thing that happens because of his choice to release the anti-monitor. I think it's gonna be like something like that. Where it's like she has to watch all the destruction Kang's variants has to do.
Yeah.
And that's what my like cool option would be. It would be amazing if they do this, because like think about it, it would literally be her like strapped to his ship just watching all the damage.
Yeah.
And then
like under control too, because Harrison Wells was under control too, until he freed him. Like I think he freed himself or people helped him free himself.
So yeah. I honestly think that would be the coolest thing they did if they were to do something like that. Because, again, that would be, like, the worst thing to happen to her because she was such a good character and literally get wasted if they do that.
Yeah.
Tortured would kind of be in the same way of repenting her sins, but, like, maybe a different way. They keep her in prison. But I think if she has to repent her sins by watching all the damage she
gets stuck in a time loop.
Just
think of it that way.
It's not going to be a time loop. It's literally going to be her, like the villain, the Kangs that went to go abduct her would literally be torturing her by making her watch all the destruction they do. Okay. And that's like the best idea I can think of.
Yeah.
So, what do you think's going to happen with Renslayer, Ravonna, whatever?
At this point, I don't know, because I know she wants to find free will by herself. But at this point, I don't know what's going to happen to her, because she went somewhere and we don't know where she went. She just disappeared.
So
she just did.
So what I think what happens is Ravonna might find her free will by meeting a Kang and also causing destruction throughout the multiverse, or maybe trying to stop him by saying people don't deserve free will, and then they become buddy and like fall in love, right? Yeah, maybe. All right. Obviously, the most important character right now, Kang. What's his next goals? Well, not the Kang we met, because he was happy and about to retire. We're talking about the evil statue Kang that's about to come.
Yeah.
What do you think's gonna happen?
At this point, I do not know what is going to happen. I want to stay. I don't want to keep thinking of like fears of what's going to happen. I just want to just be surprised at what's going to happen.
Well, That's boring. Ew, disgusting.
Well,
Alright.
plus I don't know
So,
a lot right now, but once I start thinking about it and hearing about like other theories, then I'll probably start thinking like, oh, I feel like this is going to happen now. Right now, I just don't have a like mindset of what I think is going to happen. If you know what I mean?
so well, what I wrote for Kang, to be honest, is I kind of put him in like what movies he could be in after this, and
Yes.
I really
I think I have a
doubt he's
feeling of
gonna.
what movies you put him in.
So obviously, I wrote his variants next steps, in my opinion, are gonna be throughout the multiverse, so it can literally be anything. And obviously, I said multiverse, Doctor Strange, multiverse. You know, Doctor Strange 2, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
He has a high chance of showing up in that movie, but I severely doubt it.
Okay.
Because I feel like King is either gonna stay in that movie, like I don't want them to do what they did with Loki and use him in as a villain in multiple movies. That would be cool, but then again, it would be repetitive, and we're not gonna like want to see Kang in every single movie that we see from now on. So like, there's a high chance of him being in that movie, but I severely doubt it.
Yeah.
The second movie I'm going to talk about is Spider-Man, the third one. Again, they're also going to be exploring the multiverse in that movie, but I think that's going to not, like, I don't think he's going to be in that one either, because I don't feel like Spider-Man's strong enough to fight Kang.
Yeah.
And I mean that in, like, the nicest way possible,
Yeah.
because it's just, I mean, Spider-Man's an amazing character. He's one of my favorites, but there's no way he can fight Kang.
Yeah.
If anything,
Unless he gets help, like I see that, but I don't think he'll be able to beat him.
I see it. Like, I'm saying there's no way Spider-Man's gonna be seeing Kang.
Yeah.
That's why I think Doctor Strange is more likely to happen.
Because
But,
also Doctor Strange is a sorcerer. Like he does anything with time. So like
yeah,
it's really just battling time in that movie.
exactly. But another thing I say I don't want to see Kang in the movie is I don't want a repeat of Spider-Man 3 where there's just too many villains to like talk about and not enough time to actually explain a character's arc in the movie. Because like the first Spider-Man 3 had so many villains. It had Harry Osborn as the Green Goblin, or I think
Green Goblin,
whatever.
Green Goblin.
A Green Goblin.
Yeah.
The Sandman, which is probably the best villain in that movie because we get to see a lot of him, and like he actually has an arc through the movie.
Yeah.
And then Venom.
Yes.
I don't know. It's just squeezing so many characters into one movie, like that just didn't work for them the first time. But they already have Doc Ock, Electro. We saw Vulture in a Lego set for Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And we also saw Shocker.
I think Green Goblin was in the first Spider-Man like movies, and I think the Vulture was in like Tom Holland's one because that's what they named him, Vulture. So I think it's two different people.
I know. I'm talking about the new I'm talking about the newest Spider-Man movie. The villains they have in it already.
Oh.
So they have the Doc Ock confirmed with Spider-Man 2's Doc Ock coming into the movie. We saw Mysterio in Lego set, and same with Vulture. So they have a high possibility of being in the movie, and I think they are going to be in the movie because there's no reason to put a figure of them as a toy if they're not going to be in the movie, or at least mentioned. They also have what's his name? Electro returning.
Oh.
Being so it's already 4 villains, and if you put Kang the Conqueror in there,
it's even way too much. It's way too much.
Yeah, it's already a lot, but if they put Kang the Conqueror, he's gonna be like the main villain in a Sinister Six movie. That it just doesn't make sense. So I don't think he's gonna be in Spider-Man at all.
Yeah.
But what I want to see is either him. He's
just,
obviously gonna come back for Loki season 2. He's obviously gonna come back for Loki season 2.
Yeah.
But he can either, in my opinion, he can either come back in Doctor Strange 2 or an Avengers movie. There's no other movie he can come in, and that is it. He either gets Doctor Strange or an Avengers movie. And I don't think he's going to get an Avengers movie. I think he's going to get Doctor Strange at most and Loki season 2.
Yeah. Definitely.
But yeah, that's kind of my view on Loki
Yeah.
season 1. If you're excited for season 2, I don't know. Guess we got to wait.
I think we covered a lot for Loki. Like, you covered a lot.
Mm-hmm.